They were the terror of the galaxy. Until humans showed up, Commander Zara Velnath stood on the bridge of her warship watching another world burn beneath them. The Kethari Empire had ruled through fear for 3,000 years, and she was its most feared weapon. Standing nearly 8 feet tall with obsidian skin that seemed to absorb light itself and eyes that glowed like burning coals, she commanded respect from every species in the galaxy. Her second-in-command, Lyra Thexani, approached. With measured steps, even among the Kethari, Lyra was considered dangerous. Her silver hair flowed like liquid metal, and her forearms moved with predatory grace as she carried the battle reports. The latest conquest had been pathetically easy, and the Mordan system had surrendered after seeing just one of their dreadnoughts. The reputation of the Kethari preceded them wherever they went. No species had ever successfully resisted their expansion. Every world that tried found itself reduced. To ash and memory, Zara reviewed the tactical displays showing their next target. A small blue world in an unremarkable system. The inhabitants called themselves humans, and their technology seemed primitive by galactic standards. No energy shields, no plasma weapons, no faster-than-light communication. Their ships moved slowly through space using chemical propulsion like ancient relics. Intelligence reports suggested humans had only recently developed nuclear weapons and had barely begun exploring their own solar system. They would be the easiest conquest yet. Another species to add to the Empire's collection of subjugated worlds, Lyra activated the communication array and broadcast the standard surrender demand in the crude human languages. The message was simple: submit to Kethari rule or face total annihilation. They had exactly 72 hours to respond. The response came back in less than an hour, a single transmission from the human homeworld. The voice belonged to a female, named Commander Kate Sullivan, representing something called the United Earth Defense Force. Her words were calm and measured, despite facing the most powerful military force in the galaxy. She thanked the Kethari for their generous offer, but respectfully declined. She explained that humanity preferred to determine its own future and would resist any attempts at conquest. The transmission ended with an invitation for the Kethari to leave human space, peacefully. Zara and her crew exchanged amused glances. They had heard similar defiance before from countless species. None had ever backed up their brave words with effective action. The Kethari fleet moved toward Earth, expecting another routine demonstration of overwhelming force as they approached the human solar system. The first surprise came from the asteroid belt. Massive mining stations dotted the region, far more extensive than their intelligence had suggested. Humans had been busy in space for much longer than anyone realized. The second surprise was the fleet waiting for them. Near the fourth planet called Mars, hundreds of human vessels formed defensive formations. Their ships looked crude and blocky compared to Kethari elegance, but there were far more of them than expected. Commander Maya Rodriguez transmitted from the lead human vessel. Her ship was called the UES Defiance, and she spoke with the same calm confidence as the earlier transmission. She warned the Kethari to turn back or face the consequences of their actions. Zara decided to demonstrate Kethari superiority by destroying a few human ships before accepting their inevitable surrender. A single lance of plasma fire from her dreadnought should have vaporized 3 enemy vessels instantly. Instead, something impossible happened. The plasma beam struck an invisible barrier and dispersed harmlessly. The human ships had energy shields technology. The Empire's scouts had completely missed. The implications sent cold dread through Zara's consciousness. The human counterattack came immediately. Thousands of small missiles streaked toward the Kethari fleet, moving faster than anything in their databases. Each missile seemed to think for itself, adjusting course and target with mechanical intelligence. Point defense systems struggled to intercept the swarm. When the first missiles struck Kethari shields, they didn't explode conventionally. Instead, they released clouds of metallic particles that ate through energy barriers like acid. Several escort ships lost protection entirely before the main barrage arrived. Admiral Lisa Chen commanded the human forces from a massive station hidden behind Mars. Her tactical genius became apparent as the battle progressed. Every Kethari maneuver was anticipated and countered. Human ships moved with coordination that suggested advanced artificial intelligence. The humans had another surprise waiting. Nuclear mines seeded throughout their space activated as the Keth-Hari fleet advanced. Each explosion released electromagnetic pulses that disrupted alien systems. Suddenly, the technological advantage belonged to humanity. Zara found herself in an impossible situation. Her fleet was designed to intimidate primitive species into submission, not to fight a determined enemy. With advanced technology and superior numbers, the humans had somehow leapfrogged centuries of normal development. Reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Other human fleets were appearing near Keth-Hari colonies, ships that should not exist carrying weapons that defied understanding. Every engagement ended the same way. Complete human victory with minimal losses. Captain Amy Foster led one such fleet to the Keth-Hari stronghold of Veltara Prime. The fortress world had never fallen in 2 millennia of warfare. Its orbital platforms and planetary shields made it virtually impregnable. Yet human forces cracked its defenses in mere hours. The secret became clear as more intelligence arrived. Humans had been preparing for this moment for generations. Secret colonies throughout the galaxy. Advanced research stations hidden in dark space. They had watched and learned and built their strength in shadow. Colonel Nancy Price commanded ground forces that landed on occupied worlds. Her troops moved like ghosts through Keth-Hari installations, liberating enslaved populations and dismantling imperial infrastructure. They fought with a ferocity that shocked even veteran Keth-Hari warriors. The humans showed no mercy to oppressors, but treated prisoners. According to something called the Geneva Convention, captured Keth-Hari soldiers found themselves fed and housed and eventually released. This bizarre concept of honor in warfare confused everyone. General Patricia Williams led the final assault on the Keth-Hari homeworld. Her fleet appeared without warning above the capital city. Orbital defenses that had protected the world for millennia fell silent within minutes. The Empire's heart lay exposed and vulnerable. Zara received the human surrender, demand with bitter irony. The terms were surprisingly generous. The Keth-Hari Empire would dissolve immediately. All conquered worlds would gain independence. War criminals would face trial, but regular soldiers could return home. The message came from President Rebecca Adams speaking from Earth. She explained that humanity sought peace, not conquest. They had prepared for war only because freedom was worth fighting for. Now they offered that same freedom to former enemies. Lyra approached with the final casualty reports. The numbers told a story of complete defeat. 90% of the Keth-Hari fleet destroyed or captured, most worlds already liberated by human forces. The empire that had terrorized the galaxy for 3,000 years had fallen in less than 6 months. As Zara watched human ships patrol former imperial space, she realized the truth. Humanity had never been primitive. They had simply chosen to appear that way while building strength in secret. When they finally revealed themselves, the galaxy's balance of power shifted overnight. The terror of the galaxy had met something far more dangerous than themselves. A species that valued freedom above life itself and possessed the technology and determination to defend it. No empire could stand against such resolve. In the end, the Keth-Hari learned what countless other species would discover in years to come. Humanity's greatest strength was not their weapons or their technology. It was their absolute refusal to kneel before any master, no matter how powerful they claimed to be.